Hello. Good afternoon from over here. Um, well, lots of interesting sensations and feeling over in this body here today. It's been a good day so far. Day off of work, a hopeful day just getting kind of necessary things done. So, what I'm thinking about today is something that was, I got up really early. I had well, first of all, let me just say that what I'm thinking about is inspired by this book right here. Where's the camera on here? Waking the Tiger. Using my little tea bag as a bookmark at the moment. But that book it inspired this kind of reinterpretation for me today of how I would normally frame a narrative around my thoughts and sensations and my feelings. And I wanted to share it because I thought it was really relevant to a part of the process of really holding on to and supporting our resilience. And yeah, the laundry and the dishwasher is going on, so it might be a bit loud. I don't know how it's gonna sound, but I'm trying to talk extra loud just in case. So, basically, this morning I got up really early. I went out really early, had to do a bunch of errands that involved, some problem solving and some unexpected factors and some people that in the past I would have assumed just didn't like me, but today, I was able to assume a different interpretation, which I was grateful for. And so I'm just trying to say that it was a intense morning. And my reaction when I got back home after about 4 hours was to just collapse on the couch, be drinking and eating, replenishing and zone out. I'm on my little phone game. And, in the past, I probably would have been having really, understandably so, given my life experiences and all that, I would have been thinking, just kind of fearful thoughts about my future, or kind of giving a foothold for my doubts and my fears to have any place of relevance in my mind. And instead, I was telling myself positive affirmations, and that, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, that none of us can do anything wrong. We can only do what we are able to in the moment according to the resources we've had access to. And I was also thinking, well, one of my new resources I've had access to is this different perspective of trauma from this book. And, I was thinking how trauma stored in our body. In this book, he comes from the perspective of watching animals, and when animals go through traumatic events, they'll freeze. They'll be immobile, and then eventually they'll start moving, and it's kind of jerky, I guess, kind of shaking or twitching, or just something that's it gets the systems back in order. So I started thinking, oh, well, I guess I could be kind of in this state of immobilization sitting here on the couch. He also told this interesting story about a group of children from somewhere in California that happened, I don't even know when, in the 70s or something, I think he said. I don't remember. Where they were abducted and they were like stored in this little hole. And all of them had like severe effects on their life and their beliefs about the world afterwards, except for this one boy. And they noticed that he was the only boy who had remained mobile during basically the time he was like helping to get the children, directing them, like being like, we got to get out of here, we can do it together. You know, he was kind of the one directing them, and everyone else was just kind of like, I forgot the word they used, but you know, just kind of like doing what they're told, going through the motions, or not doing anything. And so basically it's this idea that a big part of retaining a confident mindset and physically working through what can feel like immobilization or stuckness, especially stuckness of ideas and mindsets, or stuckness around beliefs of what we're capable of, especially when we're tired or, you know, have had some challenging circumstances. It's important to stay mobile and work through it. So I was thinking, you know, I still want to be thinking how I can enjoy today and experiment with what might it be like to raise my energy. Whereas in the past, my mind probably would have spiraled thinking like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Oh my God, all these things happened when I was out and it reminds me of these things. And then exhausting myself like that, and then telling myself like I'm exhausted right now, this is proof I'm disabled, or the kind of things that I used to tell myself, which is it's a very personal decision, I think, if it is in somebody's best interest to identify with the term disabled. I don't think it's cut and dry, and also there's people who it's always going to be a relevant and necessary term for them to identify with, but I'm not one of those people. But you know, so I guess I was able to just be like, let's experiment with how do I transition from this state of feeling kind of depressed and down and worn out and tired and lethargic to feeling more energy, more hopeful, more like, oh, this is my day to enjoy and make the most of, and to really feel like I'm not departed from my path of who I am and what I'm wanting to accomplish, and the ways I'm wanting to connect with people in this world, and the ways I'm wanting to make my future self proud, but also like my future self is already as I imagine her to be, and I just have to, you know, have the faithfulness and the consistency and the persistence and the curiosity to try to look at different perspectives, to understand how I can maneuver my psyche and my body in ways that just bridge the gap from now until my my future, like really mentally and physically robust self. I mean, I'm already robust. We're all robust right now, but you know, even more so. So yeah, I was just wanting to experiment, and I found that it really helps me to use that metaphor. I was reading this book of being like, okay, I'm in the immobile state right now, and you know, laying on the couch for too long, you know, like a couple hours, and just playing a phone game and being zoned out, and being like, okay, like I'm here for you, Hannah. What can we do to help you feel safe to transition into moving and feeling and getting back in your body again, and drinking water and keeping on track with the things I'm wanting to prepare for the next few days, and all of this stuff. So, I just started with that idea, not really wanting to get up, but drinking water and slowly moving around. And I went in my room and I noticed so many things out on the bed, and immediately I felt overwhelmed. And in the past, I would have just immediately been like, nope, and gone back on the couch and started playing the phone game, most likely. But I was able to tell myself, like, just go slow. Like, I don't have to have it done like in a snap. I don't have to, like, the day is not only to accomplish things, but the day is also for me to enjoy the process and the art of being alive and doing things and enjoying the moment, just being a living being. So that is a part of the success of my day and the accomplishment of my day. Is not just how many things I check off the list, but the spirit and the mindset through which I get these tasks done. So I started doing some things, and just nice and gentle and slow, and remembering some things that, like, yesterday at work I had been thinking I wanted to do today and I'd forgotten about. And it felt good. It felt good to remind myself that persistent, the opportunity is always right for persistence. Even when we adapt, when we're listening to ourselves, of what we can handle, or what we can do in the moment, when we just I guess just when we're able to continue growing our resilience and continue doing what we need to, it makes sense to us in order to enable us to interact with ourselves and with our environment in a way that feels better and doesn't feel overwhelming and cause us to but cause us to have stress responses, where we're like, okay, well, where is the safe environment? If this isn't the safe environment in my real world around me, we could start to think, well, where is the safe environment in which I can exercise my creativity and in which I can support myself and feel like triumph and feel, and I think a lot of that, it can fall under addiction, and even addiction, like a phone game, like that can really mess up your quality of life, and just feelings of health in your body and your beliefs of if you're getting closer to your future self, who exists already. Yeah. So I think it's really interesting to experiment with this gentleness, this gentle, self-supporting mindset. And it feels really good. It feels like a relief to keep on having these small, just everyday type of experiences where I kind of am rebuilding trust with myself and proving, like, okay, I can go about difficult circumstances and feelings and perceptions, and still, through the key of self-compassion and curiosity, be able to find the way to become unfrozen, to not be immobile in traumatic terms. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really grateful that, We can all be picturing ourselves as, you know, little cells in a huge organism, and just like we really can't do any wrong, and we're never alone because we're all a part of the same greater greater process or greater organism or greater cause, or however you want to think of it. So yeah, that's what's on my mind today. And yeah, I just affirm for you that whatever process, whatever part of the process you're finding challenging as you are practicing how to feel more open and less frozen when it comes to the ways that you interact with your environment, interact with your body, interact with your own mind. I affirm that you will, and you are, and you already have found important keys that will feel like a language natural to you, native to you, just a part of your soul that is speaking authentically and clearly. And through feeding and nurturing that, you'll be able to continue learning and growing, not through pushing and forcing yourself and threatening yourself, but through using intelligent metaphors and theories, like stuff like in this book, and in a deeper, more complex understanding of humanity, not just as floating minds, but humans as embodied animals. We're part animal. And learning how to work with your body more and understand how your body and mind can communicate in order to just allow you to be more authentic, more and more continuously to your dreams. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking around and listening. And I will be back soon. Take care. Bye.